Welcome! Another YIN recording. Hour of YIN yoga, 15 minutes of meditation and relaxation. This class is kind of a full body class. We don't do too much in the hips, so if you've got niggly hips, this might be a good one for you if you're trying to avoid real big hip openings. Instead, we've got some twists. We've got some opening of the tricep and shoulders. Some hamstrings. It's a pretty good all-rounder. We're starting our meditation of the month for June 2020, which is sense withdrawal. So I'll go more into that at the hour point when we finish off our yin postures. Really hope you enjoy it. Probably going to need a strap for this one. We do a lot of kind of using the strap to keep the energy flowing like an extension of our body. You could just use an old scarf or like a sarong, your husband's old tie that you don't like anymore. I don't know. I just hope you really enjoy it. So cheers, guys. Namaste. Month of June. So take a nice, easy, comfortable seated position on the ground. And just take a moment to really arrive on your mat. So grab a cushion or a block if that helps you to sit. And just really feel the sitting bones in connection with the ground. So you can rock from side to side if you need to. Rest the hands on the knees to begin with. Allow the eyes to close or gaze past the end of your nose. And just take a moment to arrive fully for our yoga session this evening. So just scan your body, notice if there's any tension, any niggles, anything you're holding on to. We're going to do our best to just let go this evening. Start to center in on that breath. Your natural breathing cycle. As you let your breath slowly flow in a way that feels natural for you, try and release any tension in the face, soften the jaw, soften the muscles around the eyes and the cheeks. Let your face be free from expression. Release the tongue from the top of the mouth. Let the shoulders just relax down from the ears. Feel the belly and the lungs softly rising and falling. Pick up index finger and middle finger of right hand. Lightly place the fingertips in the eyebrow center on your forehead. Allow the lips to close so you're breathing entirely through your nose now, if you're able to. Use ring finger and little finger to close left nostril. And inhale through right nostril. Pinch right nostril closed with your thumb. Hold. Release left nostril. Exhale. Inhale through left nostril. Pinch closed. Hold. Release right. Exhale. Inhale through right. Close. Hold. Exhale through left. Inhale through left. close, hold, exhale through right, inhale, close, hold, exhale, inhale, close, hold, exhale. Continue like this at your own pace. Balancing yin and yang, left and right. Allow the breath to naturally lengthen if it's leading you there. And on your next exhalation through your right nostril, release your hand back down to your knee. Keep the eyes closed for a little longer. Just notice how the breath feels in your nose now. That subtle sensation of the air flowing in and out of both nostrils. Blink the eyes open. We're going to move into our first yin posture. We're going to need our strap for this one. So we're going to begin by staying in our seated position. We're going to take left leg in a bent position as if we're crossing our legs. And we're going to step right foot to the outside of left knee. Take a moment to check in with those sits bones and make sure that right hip hasn't lifted up off the floor. If it has, this might be a sign that we want something to sit on, like a cushion. If this feels okay, then we're going to move towards shoelace pose. If this is plenty enough on your hips, stay here. Otherwise, we can come onto the outer edges of our feet and start to walk them away from each other as we attempt to stack our knees on top of each other. Your left knee should be resting down on the ground. Option here is to stick a cushion between those knees. Just come to a point that feels right for you. You're going to feel it in the outer edges of your hip, your lower back. Once you've arrived at the right place, so Anna, if that's too much, I would just keep sole of the foot on the outside of the knee on the ground, like that. And then as we work in the pose, you might be able to just wiggle that foot out to the side. Give it a few minutes. So we're going to take right arm up into the sky, drape that strap down our back, and then we're going to take left hand, sorry, I've done you the wrong way. So you want left arm up in the sky, down the back, right arm's going to go around and catch it. So rather than when we're doing our hatha or our dynamic yoga and you're really pulling on that strap, just gently clasp onto it and let gravity do the work. So your bottom hand's pulling gently. So don't feel like you've really got to grab onto it tight. Have that yin sensation. Allow the eyes to close or just soften the gaze towards the end of the nose. We're going to hold here. So keep in mind that therapeutic edge, that sensation of stretching that we can dial up or dial down. We want to feel something happening, but we shouldn't be in any pain. So that's triceps really lengthening out now. Breathe into it with your smooth, steady breath. And very gently we're going to come out of this pose now. So start by releasing the strap and placing it to one side. Take the hands down by the sides of the body. You might need to walk that right foot in a little bit. And then we're going to take the feet so the soles are touching and move into our butterfly pose. So sit the bum down, reconnect those sitting bones. Soles of the feet touch, and we can dial up or dial down the intensity by how close the knees are to the groin, and also by how far forward we fold. But wherever we fold, we want to be supported. So it could be that you want a nice big squishy cushion, kind of resting on your lap, on your heels, and you can just put your head in your hands like this. You can double it up if you need to get a little bit comfier and cozier. Knees are flopping out to the side. Butterfly pose. In these yin postures, we actually allow a little bit of rounding in the spine. So really feel like that belly is nice and soft as you exhale. Gentle curling in the back as you settle down. this cozy, safe space. You can stay exactly where you are right now. If that therapeutic edge is waning, perhaps you've created enough space in your body to adjust with little disturbance as possible and keep that energy in those hips flowing. Very gently now, blink the eyes open. Use the hands to push your body back upright. Take the knees in for just a moment. And then we're going to take that shoelace with tricep on the other side. So this time, right knee is going to come down and bend so that the shin and the ankle and the knee are resting on the ground. And left foot is going to step outside of right knee. Once again, option to sit on a cushion. See where you are. It's normal for one side to be different to the other. So see if you can walk those feet out to the side and stack the knees, but only if that feels right in your knees and your hips. It may ease up whilst we hold it. This time, right arm is going to reach up into the sky, holding onto that strap. Left hand is going to go round the back and catch onto it underneath at the bottom. Just a gentle hold on that strap. Don't grip too tightly. Just feel that it's an extension of your body and it's keeping the energy flowing. Eyes can close or soften their gaze and draw inwards. If you feel like your mind is wandering or drifting, that's okay. Bring your mind back to that cycle of breath and the sensation of the posture. It might be a sign that you can deepen that therapeutic edge. When you feel ready, blink the eyes open, release the hands, place the strap to one side, heel toe that top foot in if you need to, and then we're going to sit lengthways on our mat for our next posture. So we're going to extend left leg out and place sole of right foot on the inside of left thigh. Again, option to sit on something if that helps you keep your hips level. We want to turn the chest and the shoulders so that the midline of our body is pointing in the same direction as that foot on the extended leg. This is really strong work on your hamstrings. You can always slide a towel underneath the knee of the extended leg. Now, we're going to have a bit of both today in this pose. So we're going to take our squishy cushion and rest it on our thigh, maybe even a couple of squishy cushions. But we're going to have a little more activation than usual in that extended leg. So I invite you to try using your strap. And just like we did in that tricep pose, think about it as an extension of your hands or your arms. So you're not wrenching down on it, but you're just holding it to keep that length in the back of the leg and that energy flowing through the foot. Settle in, find your starting point, and allow the eyes to close. The sensation of holding these straps should be like the sensation of holding the hand of someone you love. So just feel that soft, firm grip. And with every exhalation, softening into the forward fold. notice if you're squeezing or clenching anywhere in that extended leg. And exhale to let go. You can allow your hands to travel down the strap if that enables you to maintain that therapeutic edge. Maybe even clasping the foot if that is in your practice today. Very gently release the strap or the foot. Walk the hands back to the body. Come upright. Remove that cushion. I'm going to flip round, you stay where you are. We're going to do the other side. So extend the other leg. Bring the other sole of the foot into the thigh. Take a moment to see if it feels any different. Maybe you need to sit on something this time, maybe you don't. Maybe you need more props, maybe you don't. If this knee is tricky, you can always take it slightly lower down the leg, or even put another cushion underneath that knee to support it. Turn the top of the torso so that it's pointing straight down the barrel of that extended leg. Place your squishy cushion or your support on the thigh. Wrap the strap around the foot of extended leg. Grip it gently with both hands. Close the eyes and withdraw again. So as we scan the body for anything that we're holding on to, we can also use this yin practice to see if there's anything we need to let go from our minds, from our hearts. Is there something that your thoughts are returning to? If it doesn't serve you, just exhale, let it go. As we let go, we create space in the body. And as we create space, it gives us the space to change, to feel differently. So notice if you can walk those hands down that strap. Notice if things are opening up. Very gently release the foot on the strap. Walk the hands back towards the body. Take the cushion to one side. We're done with the strap now, so you can throw it to one side. And come onto a hands and knees position. Release tops of the feet to the mat. Place knees directly below hips. Grab a hold of your squishy cushion again. And place it somewhere where your forehead can rest on it. We're going to walk our hands away from the body and take our elbows so they're slightly ahead of our shoulders if our body allows us to. If this feels like it's strong enough work in your shoulders, if you have tricky shoulders, you can just take the hands and the arms, forearms down onto the mat. Palms touch, outer edges of the little fingers are pressing into the ground. Just hang the head here, let the belly and the chest drop. If you want to go a little deeper, you can take those elbows slightly further away. Take the head to the cushion and take palms of the hands to the back of the head. So it's like a heart melting pose with a stretch in the triceps. You might have to play around with perhaps the hips sink back a little. Maybe the elbows come and the head comes a bit closer to the knees. Play around with it and see where you get to. Don't have to take the palms to the back of the head if you feel that it's easier to just extend the arms down. You'll know when you've arrived because your heart and your belly are just going to melt towards the ground whilst maintaining that slow, steady breath. You'll feel that your shoulders are drawing down and away from the ears. There's going to be a little flex in the lower back as that bum's kind of popping up into the sky. Hips stacked over the knees. So wherever you are, just feel the fingertips and the palms of the hands touching each other. Feel the warm sensation. If you've brought hands to the back of the head, just release them down to the ground in front of you. And then all together we're going to walk those hands back in. And bring ourselves into an upright position. Our next pose is going to be a cat tail. So come to lying on your right hand side, propping yourself up on your right forearm. You might want to grab a cushion and just place it in front of your body. We're going to keep the right leg bent and resting on the ground. And we're going to extend left knee in front of us. And it may want to rest on this cushion. You might not need it. See where you get to. Your hips are going to completely collapse down onto the ground, and that's fine. A little twist here. If this feels okay, the next thing to do is to reach down with left hand and see if it can take a hold of that right foot for a little bit of a quad stretch. If it doesn't reach, let it be. If you can reach easily, I'll just turn the angle so you can see slightly. If you can reach easily, next step is to extend that left leg so that it is straight. Find your starting point. Remember that 55 to 60% of your full range of motion, because we're here for 4 minutes rather than 4 breaths. Once we've settled into the pose, we'll see if there's space to lie down a little more, but for now, stay supported on that forearm. Let the eyes close once more. If you need to rejig where the elbow is of your supporting arm, that's fine. So we're going to keep the legs where they are now. Release the grip of that bottom foot. And take the full side of your body down onto the ground. You can even use right hand as a pillow. If you want to try again to reach that back foot now that you're resting on the ground, you can go for it. But otherwise, just let the full weight of the body be resting. You can even bend that extended leg if you need to, just to take a deeper twist through the spine. If you're holding onto the bottom foot, release that hold. Roll over onto your back for a moment. And just maybe windscreen wiper, or you can hug like a little bowl. Just allow the full length of the spine to have a moment on the mat. And then we're going to come up so that we can go back down on the other side. So left side of the body is going to be resting on the ground. Left leg is bent behind us. Left forearm resting on the mat, supporting the body. We're going to reach back with right hand and catch a hold of that left foot if we can. If we can't, let it be. We can use our prop again to place right knee on. Or if this feels okay, we can remove the prop and maybe even extend that leg. So feel that quad of the bottom leg opening. Feel the glute in right leg stretching maybe. Eyes are closed or gaze is at the tip of the nose. Release the hold of that bottom foot to come down now. Use right hand to make a pillow, or left hand to make a pillow as you take the left shoulder, left side of the body, full weight of the body down onto the mat. Maybe you can catch a hold of that foot again. Might feel good to bend right leg now if you haven't already. Really rest the full weight of that right leg on the ground for a twist. This is cat's tail. Feel completely supported by the ground. You can release that foot now. Like we did before, roll over onto your back, hug the knees in, clasp the hands around the shins, and actually take your chin and your shoulders up off the ground. You might need to engage the core a little bit, just to bring your head to your knees. Just gently rock from side to side, maybe forward and back a tiny little bit. It's like a little ball here. Squeezing in all the goodness of your practice. And then when you're ready, you can roll onto one side and bring yourself up into a seated position. And so I'm going to talk to you now about our meditation for the month, which is Pratyahara, sense withdrawal. And it is a simple guided meditation. Sense withdrawal Pratyahara is one of the 8 limbs of Patanjali, which is quite an ancient yogic reference point. It's kind of the principles of how to live the yoga way, the 8 limb path. And sense withdrawal is also now in modern day quite a commonly used mindfulness technique. So what we mean by sense withdrawal, so our 5 senses are how we engage with the world, and when our 5 senses are out of balance, we can take them for granted. So quite often we're a bit mindless, if you like. We don't appreciate the food we eat or the smells we experience, the sounds, the touch, the sights. And then conversely, we can be oversensitive. So we're hypervigilant, or we're greedy and hungry for more input all the time. So when we do sense withdrawal, we're trying to create space between ourselves and the sensations of our 5 senses, so that when we experience a sense, we have this chance to decide how we respond. So it's not that you're going to withdraw your senses and you're going to be like in a coma, but it just gives you that space between your 5 senses and yourself inside. So we're going to do our Pratyahara in Savasana today. So we're going to lie down. I invite you to lie down now. Get really comfy. If you need warm clothes or anything. We want to be really supported and rested. Pillow is fine as well. Blanket if you get cold quickly. And so the way this is going to work is that I am going to guide you for the first 5 minutes, and then you've got a really nice long 10-minute relaxation, finishing kind of in Savasana, but with your senses having been withdrawn. And we're actually going to start with our eyes open. It doesn't matter if your room's dimly lit or dark. Just once you're lying back, just keep the eyes naturally gazing open. You can blink naturally, but start to notice what you can see from this natural gaze. Notice any light or shapes. Acknowledge in your mind any objects that you can see. You can name what you can see in your mind. And begin to soften your gaze, like a picture is going out of focus. Now allow your eyelids to gently close. And become aware of the shapes, colours or lights that you can see behind your eyelids. Maybe there's an imprint from the light that you could see with your eyes open. Notice that the input is still being received from your sight. Move your attention now to your sense of touch. Scan the body from your feet up and notice what you can feel in this moment physically with your body. Maybe you can feel your clothes upon your skin. Perhaps you feel the air on your fingertips, on your face. Maybe you can feel the subtle tickling of the breath flowing in and out of your nose. Can you feel the ground mat the carpet beneath you? Can you feel the softness of the cushion or pillow on the back of your head or neck? Finally, feel the heaviness of your body being fully supported by the ground. Turn your attention to your sense of smell. Begin by remembering the smell of something that you love, a smell that delights you. Maybe your favourite perfume, the smell of something delicious cooking, the smell of garden on a summer's day, salty air of the beach. Feel that smell percolating in your nostrils. Feel the memory of that smell imprinted on your mind's eye. Now draw your attention to any smells in the room. Candles, incense, your own perfume, your clothes. Your sense of smell is closely related to your sense of taste. So begin to notice any tastes lingering on your mouth or tongue, or perhaps just the natural taste of your own mouth as your tongue rests gently in your mouth. Now begin to notice what you can hear. Begin with the most obvious sound that you can hear. The noise that you notice straight away after you notice the sound of my voice. Now draw your attention to the sound furthest away from you that you can hear, the subtlest background noise, the most distant audible noise. Notice finally the sound of your own breathing. The constant, steady, spontaneous inhale and exhale. Notice how subtle and delicate your breath has become. Now you have created a safe internal space within you. Use the slow, steady breath to reside here in this stillness and rest. Being very gentle with yourself now. Bring awareness back to your body, to your surroundings. Gently move fingers and toes so that you can feel them again. Maybe move the tongue around the mouth. Carefully turn head from one side to the other. You can take a little stretch through the body any way that feels good. There's no need to hurry or wake yourself up completely. When you're ready, roll over onto your right hand side into the recovery position And with your eyes still closed, take a moment. Gently and carefully, slowly as you go, come to a seated position. Take your hands to heart center. Just take a moment here. Tuck your chin. Blink your eyes open. Namaste, everybody.